our local Doppler radar. Today, windy with rain, heavy at times, high 60. Winds south-southwest at 25 to 35 miles per hour. Rainfall may reach 1 inch. Winds could occasionally gust over 40 miles per hour. For tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, sprinkles or flurries possible, low 36. On Tuesday, considerable clouds early, some decreasing clouds later in the day, high 43. Here's our 7-day outlook. Traffic conditions around our area.
Welcome back, everyone. This morning we're kicking off a 3-part series,
Making You Pet Smart. According to the American Pet Association, nearly 45 million people own a dog as a pet, but choosing the right pet can be a challenge, especially if you live in a region of the country where weather is in constant flux.
So this morning, here to help us sort it all out, noted expert and author Brian Kilcom. Brian, good to see you.
Hey, nice being here.
We've got so many different dogs here. How do you choose the right dog for the geographic location you live and the climate that you're in?
Two things. Let's look at lifestyle. So if you are not active, you don't want to get a real active dog like a Labrador or a boxer. Okay. All right. If you're living in the South, you need to be careful of the short-nosed breeds,
okay,
like boxers, pugs, bulldogs.
Don't say bulldogs aren't good for the South. You know, there's a lot of Georgia people out there.
Right, but you know what? They maintain those folds. So it's a lot more work for people. And also in really high heat, they're packing that bulldog in ice.
All right, so we're talking about heat. How about the cold? Because it is cold out, so what are good dogs for cold weather?
A lot of the sporting breeds work out really well. This is a golden mix that could work great. Something like a greyhound, you're going to need a coat. A lot of dogs do. So depending upon the cat.
Now, a doggy coat, or are we talking about their actual fur? Because you know people love those doggy coats.
Doggy coats, okay? And ones that are wind resistant. And the other thing about picking a dog, there are some dogs that are not meant for everyone, all right? With the boxer, it's a working dog. It's going to be high activity, really smart. You need to direct it, so it's going to take more training. A Great Dane, great dog, but you need to look at your vet bills and food intake because they're going to be so much higher.
Right.
If you have a family, the standard poodle is one of the best dogs around. Or in an apartment, Greyhound works great.
Hey, let's talk about the winter time. A lot of us are cooped up in our homes. We get cabin fever. Can a dog suffer from that too?
Yeah, because they're standing there going, hey, you want to go out? Hey, no, it's zero. Hey, you want to go out? So as far as getting them, exercise is not optional with some of the breeds. So when selecting, figure out what your lifestyle is, what you're comfortable with. But going out in the snow, I know I'm from New Hampshire. We have high snow. The dogs don't buy it. They're like, come on, let's go out. Yeah. It's good for us. It's good for the dogs.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Brian. We certainly appreciate it. But Brian's going to be back.
That's right. We're going to continue talking to Brian tomorrow. Tomorrow's topic, how the weather affects grooming your pooch. And also we'll reveal 3 secrets to grooming your pet that you may not know.
And if you want any information on adopting any of these dogs that you saw here this morning, you can contact the Atlanta Humane Society, Adopt a Greyhound Atlanta, or go to weather.com for details. We'll be right back.
If you've had a heart attack caused by a completely blocked artery,
a wind advisory and a flood watch have been issued for our area by the National Weather Service. Our local Doppler radar. A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for your area. High 60. Winds south-southwest at 25 to 35 miles per hour. For tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. Sprinkles or flurries possible. Low 36. Winds west-southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Tuesday, sprinkles or flurries possible early. Mostly cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy in the afternoon. High 43. Our week ahead. Traffic conditions around our area.
Well, let's take you to the Midwest. Our first stop here will be Chicago. You have to look closely, but we do have some flakes that are floating down in this area. We're also seeing some of that across Decatur, Illinois. You're going to find that in Bloomington, the Quad City region, picking up some snowfall as well as other regions in the Midwest. Here we find it around parts of Minnesota. You're going to find that around Duluth, in around Minneapolis and St. Paul, towards St. Cloud, areas in between like Maple Grove, Redwood Falls, Litchfield, a lot of areas picking it up. And then we find it too here as we look across North Dakota, a little bit in terms of it in eastern South Dakota. And the big story here is not just the snow, because the snow actually is going to be fairly light amounts. The big story is the combination of that snow coming down along with some strong winds. And what that is going to do is really knock that visibility down. Because of that, note here that we do have blizzard warnings that are up. Now, this is where we see the gold on the map here. It encompasses North Dakota, much of Minnesota, parts of Iowa, as well as South Dakota. And where we don't have a blizzard warning, we have some sort of other warning in many places, whether it's a winter storm warning or a winter weather advisory, wind advisories that you see here in the blue. Also, we have areas where we're concerned about flooding. So just a lot of activity that's going on across this area. And basically what this all translates to is that you just have to take it easy. Be careful out here on the roadways. If you don't have to travel, especially in the toughest areas where that visibility is way down, you really just want to hold off, do what you can to stay home, and maybe run some of those errands at another time. And watch out if you do have to be on the roadways, because it could also be very slick. Some of this snow is falling on top of that coating of freezing rain that we had a few days back. Now, we'll find that that colder air starts to move in. Minneapolis today, 27, Fargo, 18. But as that colder air starts to come in, you'll notice those temperatures dropping. 12 tomorrow in Minneapolis, 8 in Fargo, and we're going to talk more about this coming up and how that cold air will continue to spread across the country. Now let's take you westward. Carl?
Cleanup still going on here in Southern California as the Golden State awaits the next round of storms. Check out the debris